temperature in the low 80s and humidity in about the same area. Von Schaumann kicking it off and kicking it a couple of yards deep into the end zone where Andre Waters will fall on it and down it for the touchback. So the Eagles will bring it out to the 20-yard line, and they'll go offensively without Wilbert Montgomery. Had a hamstring problem last week, flared on him a little bit yesterday, and Mike Williams will start at that running back position, though Montgomery is expected to see some action in passing downs. The offensive line, and take a look at the center, Mark Denner. For several years, he was a starter for these Miami Dolphins, and he is really pumped up for this football game. Miami fans are ready into this one, chanting defense. 1st and 10. Eagles from the 20-yard line. Ron Jaworski, the man at the throttle. Well, we were told that Wilbert Montgomery wasn't going to start, and lo and behold, they slipped up a quick one, and Wilbert is in there and carried the ball on the first play from scrimmage. Dolphins defensive line. The Killer Bees are back. Batters, Baumhauer, and Beaucamper just came back last week from an injury. Excellent set of linebackers. A.J. Dewey and Ernie Rowe missed some action early this season, but they're back in top form. And the secondary led by the Bruce brothers, Glenn Blackwood and Lyle Blackwood. 2nd down, 5. Montgomery. 1st down and more as he gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Not playing like a man with a bad hamstring.
Well, he told me right before the game that it was a little tight and he didn't expect to start, so maybe he was surprised too that he was going in. Wilbert Montgomery, number 31, has been one of the top running backs in the NFC for some time, but he's been slowed up by some injuries. Here you have an off-tackle play where the Eagles say they have to be able to run today to be successful against the Dolphins. They want to keep the ball out of the Dolphins' hands.
An 11-yard pickup for Montgomery and the first down of the ball game for the Philadelphia Eagles, who are moving from their 36-yard line. Montgomery again, 40, 45, and out to the 46. He is close to another 1st down. Montgomery's role has changed a little bit this year with Philadelphia. He's become more of a pass receiver, but running today like the Montgomery of old.
That's right, and I think you can tell the whole Eagle team is really excited about a chance to knock off an undefeated Dolphin team. And they're going to come out and they're going to try to run the ball and control it and keep the Miami offense off the field.
You see his numbers, they're not as impressive as in years past. Not quite enough for the 1st down. It's 2nd and 1 for the Eagles at their 45-yard line. Hubie Oliver behind Jaworski, and then Montgomery in the I formation. Oliver, the fullback, will pick up the 1st as he takes it to the 48-yard line. The Philadelphia offense absolutely 28th and dead last in rushing. Now, you wouldn't believe it looking at him on this first series.
Well, one reason for that, Frank, is that in a lot of their games this season, they have gotten behind early. And when you get behind early, you have to throw the ball, and that really hurts your running statistics.
Their average around 75 yards rushing per game. There's the Swamp Fox, Marion Campbell looking on. 1st and 10, Eagles at their 48-yard line. They've already picked up almost 30 yards on the ground in this opening drive. Split backfield this time. Jaworski, first pass of the day, completes it to Woodruff. At the Miami Dolphins 30, there's a fumble on the play, but it was whistled in. Eagles will retain possession. Langford on the hit, and Blackwood, 42, came up with the fumble, but it'll be Philadelphia's ball, 1st down.
Number 7, Ron Jaworski's coming back, and on most pass plays today, he's going to be looking for Mike Quick, but if he's double teamed, he's going to look for another receiver. Here, Tony Woodruff runs an excellent in pattern, but he has to put that ball away because the Dolphins will try to strip it.
22 yards picked up on the play. An Eagle 1st down with the nose of the ball just inside the Miami 30-yard line. Quick to the right side. Woodruff to the left. Montgomery, nice hole. Inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Wilbert has taken a beating in his 8 years in the National Football League, and he may not be the Montgomery he was a couple of years ago, but he is still one of the great givers in this game of professional football, and he'll give you everything that he has on every play.
And one thing that he gives him, Frank, is leadership, and I think that's maybe one reason why he started today.
He comes out, and Williams now comes in at the running back on 2nd down, 4 for the Eagles at the Miami 23. Williams trying to bounce outside, takes it inside the 20, And if everything's in order, that should be another Philadelphia first down at about the 18. It is 1st and 10, Eagles. Third first down in this drive, and all of it but one play, the pass to Woodruff, has been on the ground, which is the amazing thing about it.
Well, the Eagles are really surprising everybody, and I think the most surprised person now are the Miami Dolphin defense, because I know they came out thinking pass defense, and now they have to play that run a little tougher.
Well, talking to the Eagles yesterday, they were really pumped up over the thought of being the first team to beat Miami this year, and what a feather it would be in their cap, and what a credibility factor it would be for them. From the eye to the split backfield for Williams and Oliver behind Jaworski. Jaworski for Mike Quick. Touchdown! The official waited a moment to make sure that Quick was in bounds. Had both feet in at the back of the end zone. And the Eagles with an amazing drive as Quick beats Paul Langford, number 44, the defensive back. And the Eagles are on the scoreboard first. And this is something Miami isn't used to, being behind.
That's right. This is only the third time all season.
Paul McFadden will try the extra point. Jaworski to hold. 10 minutes, 35 seconds left in the opening period. Take a look at the touchdown.
There's number 82, Mike Quick, one of the finest receivers in the league. I believe the play was an audible where Jaworski changed the play at the line. He has one-on-one coverage and an excellent throw. You can't throw it any better than that. Either Quick's going to catch it or it's going to go out of bounds.
Frank Glieber with Gene Fugett at the Orange Bowl in Miami, where the Eagles may have stunned the Dolphins with their opening drive. They took that kickoff and moved smartly down the field 80 yards. The last 19 on the touchdown pass to Mike Quick. The deep man, Fulton Walker, as McFadden kicks off for Philadelphia. Walker at the 13, 15, 20, 25. Fumbles the ball. Dolphins recover at the 20-yard line. Tell you, if the Eagles would have come up with that one, things might really gotten interesting.
There's number 41, Fulton Walker, who a lot of people believe is just a step away from breaking along with the season. He sets up his blocking by running up the middle and then cutting outside. There's the contain man, number 80, who gets blocked almost a clip. And now Fulton tries to turn it on. See, one-handed, when you switch hands like that, young runners, you have to put that ball away.
It was Rodell Thomas who made the fumble recovery for Miami. 1st and 10 for the Dolphins at their 20-yard line. And they open with the pitch wide to Tony Nathan. And Nathan is up to the 22 and will set the Miami offense for you. Just an outstanding group of performers. Duper and Clayton have certainly come on as premier receivers in the National Football League. And what else can you say about Dan Marino and the year he has had? The verge of breaking all kinds of records. Dwight Stevenson, an all-pro in that offensive line. He's the anchor there. That's what Marino did against the Jets, and he had an off day. Close to the first down as the Dolphins staying on the ground, and we've got a scrap going on. Didn't take long. Right in the middle of it was Mark Clayton, the flanker for the Dolphins, and Wes Hopkins, number 48, the safety for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we got a flag drop. Let's see if they're going to give it to one or the other, or it'll be unsportsmanlike on both sides.
You know, that Eagles secondary is really aggressive. And Wes Hopkins, who plays free safety back there, he's a guy that likes to hit.
Tom Dooley, the referee, with the call.
Continuing action, foul. Defense, offense, it is third down.
Many times the officials make that call, and it's a very unpopular one. They feel they don't see the whole thing. So rather than put the penalty on one side, they'll let it go both ways. Third down. Dolphins need one for the first down at their 29-yard line. They've got some injury problems in their backfield. Woody Bennett has a bad ankle. Nathan crept up behind the line. Oh, are these Eagles fired up? That defense jumping all over the place. Byron Darby, number 94. Number 5 draft pick a year ago from Southern Cal making the stop, and the Dolphins will be punting.
I wonder when the last time the Dolphins ran 3 plays in a row rather than throw a pass. That was a very interesting series. We'll have to watch that.
Reggie Roby. And he can kick them so high, it will almost bring rain. Evan Cooper. Number 21 is deep for the Philadelphia Eagles. Fine rookie return man. Eagles have 10 men up at the line of scrimmage. See if they come after Roby. They're coming. And got very close to blocking it. It will bounce out of bounds at the 36-yard line. In Philadelphia's end of the field, that's where the Eagles will take over on their second offensive possession. 39 on the kick. Look at the pressure here, Gene.
Yeah, the Eagles are really going after the Dolphins because they know as an underdog team they have to make their mark early in the game. The Dolphins, you know, I used to play with the Cowboys for 4 years, and as a Cowboy, we always hated to be favored because we knew it was going to be trouble.
He doesn't like what he's seeing so far with his team dominated on the first 2 series. 1 offense and 1 defense. 1st and 10 Eagles at the 36-yard line. Eagles just a game and a half out of first place. Montgomery takes the handoff and drives forward to the 39-yard line. We were talking to Ron Jaworski yesterday, and he told us he recalls back in 1978 the first big victory the Eagles had in their turnaround under Dick Vermeil was against the Miami Dolphins. And you recall they played the Dolphins a Monday night game in 1981 and lost by 3 points. Played them very tough. The man that's been through most of it, Jaworski. 2nd down, 7. Eagles at their 39-yard line. Single back set this time. Oliver, the fullback. Oliver has the first down as he gets across the 45 out to the 47-yard line. Bob Brzezinski, number 59, on the stop. There are some holes showing up.
That's right. When you have a 3-4 defense, you try to stretch it wide and cut it back. And that's exactly what the Eagles have been doing. They're running both right and left, so they're not favoring either side. But they feel like they want to get that offensive line off the ball to open up some holes, and the passing will come later.
Fine block that time by Ron Baker. These teams haven't played very often, as you can see. Just 4 meetings since the merger. First down, Eagles at their 47-yard line, leading 7-0. Wilbert Montgomery butting heads at the line of scrimmage, driving across the 50 and taking it down to the 48-yard line. A little wave action here in Miami. I don't know about you, but I am getting a little tired of the wave.
Well, I think that a lot of the fans, Frank, were inspired by an article that was in a Miami paper earlier in the week reminding them about the last time Ron Jaworski was here with the Eagles. And at that time, he had a lot of trouble with the crowd. In fact, he went up to the line about 5 times before he could get the snap off. It was so loud.
That was in that Monday night game I think we were talking about 3 years ago. 2nd down, 6. Eagles at the Dolphin 48. Nice hole up the middle, and this time it was Michael Haddix, number 26, the fullback. Number 1 draft choice a year ago from Mississippi State, who burst through. And the Eagles have yet another first down at the 39-yard line of the Dolphins.
Yeah, Frank, you know, Haddix was drafted as a fullback, but he had to learn halfback when Montgomery got hurt. So he's been switching back and forth from positions. But Marion Campbell thinks he's going to be a great fullback in this league.
Eagles have out first down the Dolphins 7-0 here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 40. Montgomery down to the 36-yard line. Pick up of 3, perhaps 4 yards in the play. Charles Bowser, number 56, and Ernie Roan, number 55, on the stop that time.
The Dolphins defensively gave the Eagles a different look that time. As opposed to 3 down linemen, they went into a 4 down set, hoping to throw off the blocking scheme of the Eagles. But can you believe this? The worst team rushing is running the ball like that today. I mean, the Eagles got them, but they're really doing great now.
Miami normally doesn't give up a score early. They've had only 1 touchdown prior to this game scored on them in the first quarter. 2nd down, 7 from the 36-yard line. Haddix again breaks through, this time across the left side. Looked for his hole, found it, and moved down to the 31. He'll be 1.5 yards, maybe 2. Shy of the first down. 3rd down coming up. Bob Baumhauer, number 73, on the stop. And I imagine Mr. Shula's temperature is rising a bit right now, along with the temperature on the floor of the Orange Bowl.
That's right, because I think he's unhappy because there appears to be a little confusion in that Miami defense. And I can imagine, you know, coming out expecting to defend against a lot of passes. There's only been one thrown the whole game so far.
Third down. Eagles need 2 for the first down at the 31. Haddix has the first. Driving through to the 26-yard line, and the Eagles' drive continues.
As Billy Kilmer used to say, now that's football. I mean, this is good old-fashioned football. Line up, blow them off, and run the ball over them. And when a team can do that offensively, usually they can later on do just about anything they want. So keep an eye as we get down closer to the 20 for that Mike Quick.
75 yards of that total offense total is on the ground, and that's what the Eagles have averaged for an entire football game rushing throughout 10 games this year. 4 minutes left in the opening period. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Again, more running room up the middle. This time, Hubie Oliver, the fullback, on the drive, and the 4-year man from Arizona takes it inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. You've got to give a lot of credit to this Philadelphia offensive line. They are blowing the Dolphins off the line of scrimmage right now.
Especially the center, Dennard used to play 5 years, like you said earlier, Frank, with the Dolphins. And he used to always go after Baumauer, the nose tackle for the Dolphins. And I think the Eagles believe he can handle them because they're going right up the middle.
2nd and 2 at the 19-yard line. One back set, and that's Oliver. They give it to Oliver, and Oliver across the 15, and well, enough for the first down. That's another first down for Philadelphia. That'll give them 9 first downs to none.
Let's take a look and see how this hold develops. Miami went into a 4-down lineman set with a middle linebacker. But wow, look at that blocking. Number 63, that's Dennard, and he's all over number 77. A.J. Duet.
1st and 10, Eagles at the 15-yard line. They've controlled the ball for all but 3 plays. A penalty marker trying to get outside that time for the Philadelphia Eagles, and not having much success is Michael Williams. And it looked like one of the backs moved, and now I don't see a marker. I think everybody in the stands saw it except the officials, but it looked certainly like one of the running backs moved prior to the snap.
It was very, very close. And there's a concerned Don Shula asking his coaches, what's the deal? What's happening?
2nd down 8. Eagles at the 13-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left to play in the opening period. Philadelphia leading 7-0. Jaworski, quick throw, Woodruff, touchdown.
And that's what I'm talking about when everything is working for you. The run was working. Quick had already caught a touchdown. He was double teamed. So Jaworski, old Jaws, knew what to do. He sprinted out to the left off of play action. And on a quick post, Tony Woodruff with single coverage is open. Here's the play action. He sets up Quick, the quick post, and you can't stop that play because the defensive back is behind you. A good cut and a good throw. And usually, if you don't mind taking that hit, you can get in there for the 6.
Penalty marker prior to the snap for extra point. Well, there was a lot of talk coming into this game about the possibility of it being a lopsided game, but I don't think they were looking at it this way.
That's for sure. You know, yesterday in the Miami Orange Bowl, they had another game that was kind of strange. You know, the University of Miami was playing Maryland.
62 offense.
And Miami had a 31-point lead, and Maryland came back to win it. So you never know what this stadium can produce.
And they were calling it the greatest comeback in the history of college football. So you look at the bare foot there of kicker Paul McFadden, who has been a true find for the Philadelphia Eagles. What a job he's done. 19 out of 22 field goals and 17 out of 17 extra points. They move it back 5 yards. Both he and Jaworski from Youngstown State. This one spirals through. Oh, everything is going. That one actually was a spiral, but it went between the goalposts, and the Eagles lead the Dolphins 14-0 here in Miami. The second impressive drive by the Eagles here in the opening period. The first one 80. This one goes 63. And Jaworski now has 2 touchdown passes to his credit. One to Mike Quick, and the other to Tony Woodruff. Fulton Walker, number 41, is deep for the Dolphins. They play a single deep back at the 5-yard line. McFadden kicking off. And this one out of bounds.
Kickers out of bounds.
Will necessitate another kickoff. Big weekend of college football coming up on CBS. Michigan Wolverines will take on the Ohio State Buckeyes in game number 1. There's one of the great rivalries in college football. And then after that, it'll be the crosstown rivals USC and UCLA in Pac-10 action. That's next weekend here on CBS. A college football doubleheader. Ohio State with a win over Michigan could clinch the Rose Bowl berth, and USC is in as a result of its big upset over Washington. Well, the Eagles will have to do it from the 30-yard line now. And Walker will drop back to about the 10.
You know, the Eagles only give one to their kicker. First it was Tony Franklin, now Paul McFadden. They don't let him kick with shoes on.
That is ironic, isn't it? Now, this kid has turned into something special. What a job he did last week against Detroit. Walker at the 10, 20. Cuts back inside near the 30-yard line and stopped just short of that point. Good job coverage-wise by Andre Waters, number 20. Off the Eagles specialty unit, and Mike Reichenbach, number 55. Here comes the Dolphin offense, and the crowd is trying to get them pumped up.
I mean, it's almost like the 2 teams that have changed shirts for this game. The Eagles are used to being down in the first quarter, and the Dolphins are used to being ahead. And now it's the other way around.
That's a very good analogy. 1st and 10. 2:20 left in the opening period. This is only the Dolphins' 4th play from scrimmage. Marino going upstairs. First pass of the day. It is dropped by the tight end, Dan Johnson. Ray Ellis back there defending. Let's set the Eagles for you defensively. They'll play that front 3. And they've got a ton of sacks between them this year. Ken Clark playing like a Pro Bowler at nose tackle. Marion Campbell says he hasn't seen a better nose tackle in the league this year. Veteran crew of linebackers. Jerry Robinson, a great athlete there. And those 2 safeties who will hit you. Ray Ellis and Wes Hopkins. 2nd and 10 from the 29. Marino out to Duper. Not much running room, but at least they got that first completion out of the way, and that kind of sometimes calms things down a little bit.
That's for sure. You know, getting back to that Eagle defense, we asked Marion Campbell, well, you need to get pressure on Marino. Will you be blitzing a lot? And he said, no, I have a lot of confidence in my front 3. And between them, they had each last week against the Lions, each of them had 10 tackles. That's 30 tackles just from 3 defensive linemen. So he has a lot of confidence in that front 3.
3rd and 2 for the record. That puts Duper over the 1,000 mark receiving for the 2nd straight year. He's the only receiver in Dolphin history who has gone over 1,000. Here's Marino on 3rd and 2. Nathan has the first down, 40, 45, and out of bounds at the 46-yard line. And let the record show, with 1:59 left to play in the opening period, the Dolphins have recorded their first down.
That was a quick screen to the right. You'll see that on the left side of your picture, you'll see the lineman going out to lead for Tony Nathan. The Dolphins like to use Nathan as a receiver, and you should expect to see Joe Carter later today as a running back. But Tony's really exciting when he gets the ball, and that's the type of thing you have to do to get your offense going when you can't get the ball downfield.
So Miami with its first down of the ball game at its own 46-yard line. Dan Marino going long for Duper. Couldn't reach it at the 5-yard line. The fans wanted the pass interference call, but Albert Fowles, number 29, did a pretty good job staying with it.
He sure did, but there was a little contact, but Fowles had his head back looking at the ball, and perhaps that's why it was no penalty, because there was certainly contact initiated by Fowles, defensive back for Philadelphia. So it was either the ball couldn't be caught or incidental contact going for the ball. But as a receiver, I used to always hate that because, you know, don't bump me. I want to catch the pass.
Obviously. 2nd and 10. Dolphins at their 46-yard line. Jim Jensen, number 11, the man in motion. Not much there at all. Joe Carter, number 23 on the carry, and Ray Ellis came up from the strong safety position to make the stop. Carter is an outstanding rookie that Don Shula is very high on. Prior to last week's game with the Jets, he had 105 yards, 92, and 93. And they didn't use him that much against New York. Let's bring you up to date on other scores around the National Football League. Richard Todd to Hobie Brenner puts New Orleans in the lead. Packers leading Minnesota. San Francisco 2 field goals on Cleveland. And Buffalo in front of New England. 3rd down and 11. Marino fires it downfield and has the first down at the 38-yard line. Little Nat Moore, number 89, the most experienced of the veteran receivers.
And there's Marino in the shotgun, and that's the guy he wants because they need a big play, and number 89, Nat Moore, has given the Dolphins so many big plays over the years. Nat is the direct descendant from Paul Warfield, the original great Dolphin receiver, and now Nat comes in primarily on passing situations because of Duper and Clayton starting ahead of him.
That's an 18-yard pickup and a Dolphin first down at the Eagle 37-yard line. In case you joined us late, Eagles lead it 14-0. 28 seconds left in the quarter. Marino going over the middle to Nathan. And he was sandwiched between a couple of linebackers. Jerry Robinson was back there, and so was Anthony Griggs.
You know, not many receivers like to go over the middle like that, especially when you're playing a secondary with Ellis and Hopkins. You know, we talked to Ray Ellis yesterday, and he says he dreams about hitting receivers when they come across the middle. And I never dreamed about getting hit, I can tell you that.
Yeah, those guys are a little unusual back there. Hopkins and Ellis, you've got 2 of the best hitters in pro football, and they love it. Ellis said he used to play wide receiver in college, but he wanted to be on defense in the pros. He was tired of being hit. 2nd and 10, Dolphins at the Eagle 37. Dan Marino looking for 6. He's so dropped at the goal line. Unbelievable. Mark Clayton, normally sure-handed, looked for all the world like he had his 11th touchdown reception of the year.
Well, Frank, this is when you begin to wonder whether all of the press attention that the Dolphins have been given is affecting their concentration. Here's Mark Clayton wide open down the sideline. He caught a touchdown against the Jets just like that last week, and you'll rarely see it go right through his hands. You know, there were so many press out at the Dolphins training camp all week. Marino, they want him 30, 35 times a week for interviews. It has to affect their concentration.
3rd down and 10 for the Dolphins at the Eagle 37-yard line. 18 seconds left in the quarter. From the shotgun, Marino in trouble and sacked. Back at the 50. Well, there is a rarity. It is only the 7th time this year that Dan Marino has been sacked. And it was Bigfoot, Dennis Harrison, number 68, leading the charge for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Marion Campbell has always been associated with great defensive ends, and Dennis Harrison is no exception. He's back to his all-pro form, number 68, coming from the left of your screen. And boy, he made a sandwich with Greg Brown. I'll meet you at the quarterback.
So out of field goal range now. Reggie Roby will do the punting, but won't get time to get it off because the gun is sounded ending. A very surprising first quarter here at the Orange Bowl with the Eagles leading the Dolphins 14-0. Frank Glieber with Gene Fugett at the Orange Bowl as we start the second period. 4th down situation. Evan Cooper is deep, and Reggie Roby standing back on his 35-yard line, awaiting the snap from Jeff Taves. The Eagles have completely outplayed the Dolphins. Great kick. Cooper signals for the fair catch and fields it at the 8-yard line, and Cooper was looking up above, shaking his head in admiration at the height of that punt by Roby. So not much in distance, 38, but he really hung it up there. Coming up, part 2 of the CBS doubleheader, depending on where you happen to be. Dallas, St. Louis. Those of you in Tallahassee and most of Pennsylvania will watch that one. Giants, Tampa Bay. Those of you in Rhode Island and western New York State will see that. And the Giants and the Rams. Our fans in the Orlando area will watch that game. Take a look at the NFC Eastern Division standings. Philadelphia dead last, but just a game and a half out of first. Let's see if the Eagles can keep it up here. 1st and 10 from their 10-yard line. They've been running the ball better than they have all year. Try to bang it up the middle again. Michael Williams on the carry that time. And you certainly think by now the Dolphins would have made some adjustments to that running. They're almost 100 yards rushing, are the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, most of those teams involved in that CBS doubleheader are involved in some way in those NFC Eastern Division standings that you're looking at right now. Four-way tie for first place. And the big one, of course, St. Louis and Dallas, two of the teams tied for first place. Second down 7 for the Eagles at their 12-yard line. Jaworski, good protection, has all day to throw it. Completes it to Woodruff, 25, 30, Woodruff 40. We got a flag. Maybe a clipping call as he's run out of bounds at the 29-yard line of the Dolphins, but I think they're going to bring a big chunk of it back. We got a flag dropped at the point where Woodruff caught the football against the Eagles. So wipe out a big chunk of that game. There may be enough left for the first down, but that may be it.
Yeah, the flag was downfield, though. It wasn't thrown at the line of scrimmage, so I wonder how far they're going back.
Still more than enough for the first down. Illegal use of hands against the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to spot it at the 26-yard line. So they'll move the chains, and the Eagles will at least get the first down out of it.
Number 83, Tony Woodruff, wide receiver for the Eagles, is filling in for the #1 draft choice, Kenny Jackson, who separated his shoulder a few weeks back, and they believe that with more confidence, he'll get better and better every week.
How about the time now? Jaworski had to throw the football. It seems now the Dolphins may be so run conscious, it may be hurting their pass rush. He had all day back there to pick out people. First and 10 from the 26-yard line. Now that may be the first time this afternoon the Eagles have been stopped without a gain. Williams takes that one back to the line of scrimmage where Ernie Roan, number 55, stacks him up.
Well, this is a great challenge for the Dolphin defense because the Dolphin team has been carried by their offense all year. And maybe today, to get it going, they're going to need a big play from the defense.
That's a very good point. Second down. Just a little less than 10 needed for the first down. Philadelphia, which is average just 77 yards per game rushing, has already way over that in the first quarter. Jaworski on the long count play throws the sideline route. Intended for Mike Quick, number 82. Langford, number 44, back defending. Going to be 3rd and 10 for the Eagles.
There's number 73, Bob Baumauer, in front of Nard, the center. You can see that there's got quite some action going in there. They're trying to put a pass rush on, and Denner's getting some help, and then he buries Baumauer in the ground.
Two old teammates working each other over. Denner, who was the starting center here for 3 years for the Dolphins before being traded to the Eagles.
Baumauer's not going to get any sacks like that on his knees.
3rd and 10 from the shotgun, and they're giving Jaworski the business with the noise. The decibel level is going up. Jaworski is sacked back at the 20-yard line. Beaucamper, number 58, the defensive right end, was the first to get to him, and the crowd loves it.
Well, this is Beaucamper's first game back as a starter. Here he's placing Charles, who got injured last week. He's 58, coming up the middle, and look at his strength. That's what he's known for. When he first came into the league, number 58, Kim Beaucamper, was a linebacker, and I had the pleasure of playing against him, and running into him was like running into a wall. He was so big and strong.
Eagles punting for the first time today, Michael Horan, a rookie from Long Beach State. And Colton Walker is in the center of a 3-deep receiving formation. High kick, near sideline. It'll be Kozlowski who drops the ball, picks it up, and immediately is taken down at the 33-yard line, which is where the Dolphins will put it in play with 12:34 left to play in the first half.
And remember,
there was a late marker on that penalty, and they're making the Eagles do it again for illegal receiver downfield. Horan is standing back at his 2-yard line. So they wipe out the punt, and this time he gets a better kickoff. Fulton Walker back at his 28, 30, up to the 35-yard line. and to the 39. So the Dolphins wind up gaining approximately 6 yards of field position. The original punt, the returner Kozlowski was dropped at the 33. This time the return takes it to the 38. So it'll be 1st and 10 Miami. 12 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the first half, with a surprising scoreboard right now. The Philadelphia Eagles 14 and the Miami Dolphins nothing.
When an offense is going as good as the Dolphins offense has been going this season, you kind of get unconscious. I mean, you're on automatic pilot and everything works. You just go out there and it goes great. But now they're a little thinking about it. They're wondering, gee whiz, why did Clayton drop the ball? How come we're not completing our passes downfield?
That punt by Horan was 55 yards. 1st and 10 from the 38. Marino back on the firing line over the middle to Hardy, the tight end, who will carry it to the 46-yard line, just short of the yardage needed for the first down.
The Eagle defense is going to be testing the patience of Dan Marino. Although earlier in the game we saw Clayton get deep, we won't see that probably too many times today because the Eagle defensive backs play quite a bit off of the wide receivers. So they're going to test Marino's patience by forcing him to hit his short receivers. Tight ends over the middle, backs coming out of the backfield.
Marino generally regarded as having the quickest release in pro football, only in his second year. Shula said he would compare him maybe to Namath and to Dan Fouts. Flags all over the place as Joe Carter on the carry tries the left side and is stacked up at the line of scrimmage by Jerry Robinson, number 56.
Yeah, Dan said he's a little psyched up today because his father had a week off, and normally they're back in Pittsburgh watching the game via satellite that he bought for him. But today they came down to watch the game, and he says he has a special incentive.
Offside, 71, defense, first down.
The offside penalty on Ken Clark, the nose tackle. Marion Campbell doing a little pacing in front of the Eagles sideline. Now he sends in the defensive signals himself. He handles that part of the game. That was his specialty, of course, under Dick Vermeil.
But getting back to that penalty, how can a nose tackle get offsides?
Not easy. 1st and 10 Dolphins at the 49 of Philadelphia. Not much of a hole, but the Eagles, or rather the Dolphins, Woody Bennett manages to make a 3 or 4 yard gain out of it. Bennett was a questionable starter this week with a bad ankle.
Very high in his favor.
That's the time remaining in the first half here at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Eagles, 2 touchdown passes by Ron Jaworski, 1 to Quick, 1 to Woodruff. And they lead it 14-0, trying to end Miami's unbeaten string this year. On 2nd and 6, Marino downfield for Duper. That's a first down at the 28-yard line. Super Duper is what they're chanting here at the Orange Bowl.
Number 85, Mark Duper, lying on the right side on this pass. You can't see him in the picture now. And he's setting them up for the deep plays. He's going very deep and then stopping and coming back to catch the ball. And he said he hopes later that he can use that move to get deep.
What a bargain he was for a 3rd-round draft choice. 18-yard pickup on that play. And the Dolphins have reached the Eagle 27-yard line. Campbell told us yesterday he doesn't expect to shut him out. Marino had to hurry that throw. This time Clayton hangs onto the football and goes out of bounds at the 8. First down, Miami. Great example of that quick release and great arm velocity of Marino.
That's also a great example of the kind of confidence that Marino has in Clayton, because he went right back to a receiver who just dropped a big one. It's the same pattern Duper just ran. Drive him up and then come back to the ball. It was played perfectly defensively, but he still couldn't get his hand on the ball because the receiver is running away from the defender coming back to the ball.
Herman Edwards, the defensive back for the Eagles, had great coverage. But Marino got it in there anyway, and it's 1st and goal Miami from the 8-yard line. Hand off right side, inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line goes Woody Bennett. Bennett in his 6th year. Fine inside runner.
When the Dolphins get down close, if they run the ball, they like to give it to the fullback, either Woody Bennett or number 46, who just came into the game, Pete Johnson. Pete, you may remember from the Bengals, he was about 275. He's lost over 25 pounds, and today he said he's 249.
That is unbelievable. He lost 25 pounds in a month. From the 3, Marino to throw it. He's got Bennett down to the 1-yard line. Ray Ellis, the strong safety, came out to pick up Woody Bennett and save the touchdown. 3rd down. They need a little more than a yard for the touchdown. And Marino looking over to the bench to get the call. Shula says he will let Dan call some of his own plays, but primarily on long yardage situation. You can bet Shula sent this one in. Pete Johnson in that backfield along with Nathan behind Marino. They give it to Johnson. He tries to pull it across. Let's see if he made it. No indication yet. It will set up a 4th down inside the 1.
They're going for it. Now Shula's looking around for his personnel. There's Woody Bennett he's sending into the game. He gave him the play. And I would have to think it's going to be a pass because you have more options on a pass.
Could be the biggest play of the ball game right here. If the Eagles hold them here, they may never stop Philadelphia. The rest of the afternoon, they'll be so pumped up.
There's no question it's a big play. But I would think that Marino will try to use some play action and roll out where he have an option to either run it in or pass it to one of his receivers.
4th and goal from the 6-inch line. They go with Pete Johnson. No indication. No indication. It looks like the Eagles have held. 1st down, Philadelphia.
Well, like I said, they were supposed to throw it on that one. I mean, Pete didn't make it last time. I guess Shula really has confidence in him.
You normally don't stop Johnson this close to the goal line.
Well, give credit to that Eagle defensive line. Look at that surge. They're getting 2 yards into the backfield, and Johnson has a long way to go. Number 55, Mike Reichenbach, came over the top, and Johnson did not get in, and it's going to be a big play in this game.
Timeout here in Miami. Well, give this Eagle defense all the credit in the world for a great goal line stand. It was Mike Reichenbach, the rookie from East Stroudsburg, who came up with the big hit on Pete Johnson. And now the Eagles will start from their own 1-yard line.
Now the Dolphins have a chance to do something defensively to maybe help get this game turned around.
Jaworski to Woodruff, and he drops the football. That would have gotten him some much-needed breathing space.
And that's a good call, too, because he ran a quick post pattern. He's wide open, but he did not watch the ball all the way into his hands. You see his head turns before he caught it. And that's what happens when you're worried about getting hit.
He's had some problems hanging on to the football in the past. Mike Quick to the left side, Woodruff to the right. 2nd and 10 from the 1-yard line. Jaworski going with the straight handoff to Hubie Oliver, the fullback. Takes it out to the 6-yard line. A.J. Dewey, number 77.
Offensively, you always hate to have your back on that goalpost because you know just one mistake could be crucial. At the 50-yard line, if you jump offside or you get caught in the backfield, it's not such a big deal. But down here, you're talking 2 points. So I was really impressed with Jaworski's confidence to throw on that 1st down, and then Hubie Oliver coming up the middle on the 2nd down to give him a little more room.
Dolphins go with a couple of extra defensive backs. 3rd down. The Eagles need 4 for the 1st down. At the 7-yard line, and Jaworski lines him up in the shotgun. He's standing back at the 1. Passing from out of the end zone on 3rd and 4. And that will be good enough for the 1st down as he completes it to Michael Haddix. Out beyond the 10-yard line. They say he went out of bounds at the 14.
And Jaworski's trying to be cool, but he loves it. I could tell yesterday when we talked to him that he was going to be ready today. Here, it takes a lot of confidence to pass from the shotgun in that end zone, but he calmly goes back and spots Haddix on the sideline for a good 1st down pickup. And there's Quick helping out with a little block, number 82 there.
One thing Ron told us yesterday, we always have good games against the Dolphins, so don't be surprised. And they're having a good one here, leading 14-0 with a 1st down at their own 15-yard line. We are midway in the 2nd period, just over 7 minutes. Montgomery 15 out to the 20-yard line.
But the most amazing thing is not that they're doing it, but how they're doing it. Look at that Wilbert Montgomery. He told me just 5 minutes before the game, he said, Gene, my hamstring hurts. But it doesn't look like it hurts on this play. Look at that block by Oliver on Bowser, 34 and 56. And whoo, that was a pulling guard, number 63.
Ron Baker.
That's right. And I love to get behind those guards when they pull.
2nd down. There's Montgomery's numbers so far through a quarter and a half. Eagles need 4 for the 1st down at their 21-yard line. They've completely dominated play here in the 1st half. Montgomery trying the right side, fighting for every inch, and will be close for the 1st down at the 25-yard line. Time ticking away here in the 1st half.
And there's no question in my mind that the Dolphin defense is confused. Look at Dewey. He's thinking it might be a pass. Then he sees the run action. There's number 77 coming up, filling the hole. But Montgomery bounces outside, and he's not a factor in that play. A.J. was out for part of the season with shoulder surgery, and he says he's feeling great and he's feeling better every week.
Been quite a few members of the Dolphin defense who haven't been part of the action so far. The way Eagles are moving this football. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Hubie Oliver gets a couple right up the middle. Probably known more for his blocking ability than his ball carrying ability. Other scores. Kansas City, a field goal ahead of Houston. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati have swapped field goals there in the 2nd period. Look at this one. Looks like a baseball score. Right. Jets have got a safety there. Buffalo and England and New England tied at 7. And New Orleans in the 2nd quarter. 10-7. Gerald Riggs has just scored for the Falcons on a short run. But our score is the big surprise. 14-0. Eagles lead it on 2nd and 7. Montgomery. Caught from behind, but drives forward to the 33. He'll be a couple of yards shy of the 1st down. Got a couple of more scores to pass along to you. The Redskins, 2 quick touchdowns on the Lions in their game in Washington. The Packers lead Minnesota 10-0 in the 2nd period. And the 49ers, a touchdown and a pair of field goals ahead of Cleveland. 3rd down, again a big play in this drive. It is 3rd and 4 for the Eagles at their 32.
The Eagles are playing just old-fashioned football, and it's going to be up to Dolphins to stop them.
They split Melvin Hoover wide to the left side. 3 wide receivers in there. Jaworski from the shotgun. Rushes on, gets it away, can't complete it to Tony Woodruff. At the 40-yard line. So the Dolphin defenders have held, and the Eagles will be forced to punt. Glenn Blackwood, one half of the Bruce brothers, number 47 back there on pass coverage. Glenn and his brother Lyle went to different schools, Texas and TCU. And those 2 schools happen to play next week with the Cotton Bowl berth at stake.
Oh, boy.
So they got a little something going.
That's right. But the Eagles have to feel real good because they started with their backs on the goalpost, and now they're going to kick the ball out, and the defense should be in a pretty good position.
Oran, who authored a 55-yarder on his first effort, ready to do the honors, and Fulton Walker is deep. Bobbles it. Got the kick away nevertheless, and it takes an Eagle bounce. Kozlowski picks it up at the 40-yard line and is down at the 41. So a big break there as Horan bobbled the low snap after a long delay.
You know, most punters are very good athletes. They have to be able to catch very well, although he didn't do it that time. But he has to be able to pick it up, and look at his athletic ability. He gets it up and gets it off, and that really could have been a big play the other way. But Horan has to watch that ball all the way into his hands.
Sure can't blame it on a low snap there. It was there and perfect. Timeout. 70,000 on hand here in the Orange Bowl. And could this be the upset of the year in the National Football League? The unbeaten Dolphins trailing 14-0 with 4 minutes, 9 seconds left in the 1st half. 1st and 10 Miami from its 41 line. Johnson, the tight end, in motion. Marino back to throw. Floats this one downfield for Nathan. It is intercepted. Intercepted by the Philadelphia Eagles. Ray Ellis, the strong safety, as Marino tried to get Nathan to run underneath that and then overthrew it.
And he slightly overthrew that, and that's the type of thing that was working for the Dolphins for the first 10 weeks of the season, but it's not working today. It's off of play action. Number 22 goes up the middle. You see him in the right of your screen. Gets behind the linebacker, but it was overthrown. And Ray Ellis comes up and makes his 2nd interception in 2 weeks.
And that gives the Eagles a 1st down in good field position at their 43 when we come back right after this. Well, the sun has broken through the clouds here in Miami, but right now it is shining on Ray Ellis of the Philadelphia Eagles, who has just picked off his 4th interception of the year. Eagles with a 1st and 10 at their 43-yard line. Following Marino's interception, Jaworski trying to go downfield on the slant and trying to find Mike Quick. For an NFL Today reports, let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Frank, you got the game of the day, but the best team in the NFC, the 49ers, lead Cleveland. They've got a 3rd and 4. They have not been efficient on 3rd down this year, but a draw play. The Browns are not expecting it. Roger Craig bolts for the touchdown, and it's 13-0 San Francisco. Let's go back to Frank.
Well, Brent, those 49ers showing no signs of slowing up, rather, even though Miami is having its problems today. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles at their 43. You can see the domination by the possession figure. Jaworski. He's had good protection most of the day. Boy, that was an interceptable ball. It was intended for Quick off his fingertips and for a moment hung up in the air. And the closest thing to it were white shirts. Quick's only reception today has been the touchdown pass, the 19-yarder from Jaworski. But they've indicated to us that he gets so much extra attention, he probably won't see the ball that much.
That's true. Ted Marshall-Rhoda, the offensive coordinator, says we try to find ways to get the ball to number 82, Mike Quick, but they double team him so much. But anytime he has single coverage, Jaworski's going to be throwing to him.
3rd and 10, Eagles from their 43. From the spread formation, every time the Eagles go into this formation, the crowd really gets loud. Here's Jaworski, caught behind the line and sacked at the 31-yard line. Ken Bokamper, number 58, with his 2nd sack of the day, much to the approval of this short-sleeve crowd in Miami.
Well, the Dolphins sent some extra men in that time. There's number 40 of the right of your screen, Mike Kozlowski, who's a safety, who enables Bokamper to get away and put the wraps on Jaworski, who did the right thing. 14-point lead. Let's hold the ball and punt it and put him in the hole.
Moran, you'll recall, bobbled the last snap but got it away. See if he handles this one cleanly. No problem, and really no rush. Dolphins playing return all the way. Fulton Walker trying to stay in bounds at the 20. He does. Gets up to about the 23-yard line. And probably would have been just as well to go out of bounds and save his body a little punishment.
Well, he's trying to do anything he can to get him back into the game. And he tried there, but it didn't work that time.
50 yards on the punt by Horan. 1st and 10 Dolphins at their 24-yard line. Marino, 7 out of 12 for 80 yards, 1 interception. And his Dolphins in danger of being shut out for the entire first half. Nathan at the 40, up to the 44-yard line. Well, when in doubt, I guess go back to what you do best.
Right, and Nathan put an excellent move on Reichenbach that time. He's in the left of your screen. He's going to come out and put a move and come over the middle, and the man chasing him is the man he just beat, 55, Mike Reichenbach. That's Tony Nathan. He's tough coming out the backfield.
The hit by Ray Ellis, but the Dolphins have a first down at their 44 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the first half. I would think it's important that they get on the scoreboard before halftime. Joe Carter, the rookie running back, got maybe a yard. Anthony Griggs, number 58, on the stop. Carter, a 4th-round draft pick from the University of Alabama, where he wasn't a starter last year. A lot of cushion for those wide receivers by the Eagles.
Well, the Eagles are known for trying to keep everything in front of them, so they'll usually try to stay off the receivers.
Good example of it there. 2nd down, 8. Marino, side throw. Clayton at the 35 and steps out of bounds at the Eagle 34.
That's number 83, Clayton. You see him there on your screen. He's one-on-one out here isolated against the cornerback. He drives upfield. Here's a zone because you see a short man chasing him. And look at this pass. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect right at the sideline, because otherwise, number 24, Ray Ellis, would have had his 2nd interception.
19-yard pickup on the play. A first down for the Dolphins at the Eagle 34. We'll have the 2-minute warning after this play. 2:02 left in the half. Carter to about the 31-yard line. Picking up 3, Mike Reichenbach, number 55, the rookie linebacker on the stop for the Philadelphia Eagles. And the 2-minute warning will go to both benches. Eagles lead it 14-0 in Miami. Back in just a moment. 2nd and 7. Dolphins at the 31 of Philadelphia. Looking over Philadelphia stats this season, I notice that they've been beaten 4 times this year on trick plays, gadget plays for touchdowns. Would this be a spot where the Dolphins might go to something like a flea flicker?
They might, because they've been giving the ball to Carter up the middle, maybe trying to set up some kind of fake play off of that.
One running back, and that's Nathan, but Marino going to throw it under pressure. Gets the pass away, completes it. Oh, you talk about threading the needle. Clayton pulled that one down at the 11-yard line for the first down. He had 3 green shirts around him.
There he is at the top of your screen. Clayton coming down, driving on Herman Edwards, and Herman says, I have an interception this time. Not quite. Great concentration by Clayton, and it's good to see a young receiver be able to throw off that drop he had early in the game and come back and make some fine catches.
Well, the Dolphins got to the 1-yard line earlier, and the Eagles had a great goal line stand. Let's see if they get in this time. From the 11, over the middle, incomplete. Cooper. The intended receiver, Cooper thought he was interfered with by Herman Edwards.
Yeah, Marino thought so too. He was pointing downfield. There he is at the top of your screen. He's going to come down and run what we call a quick post. He turns it in past the linebacker. He should get the ball. And Herman reaches in. He's on his back. But it looks pretty good from here, although...
Looks pretty good which way?
It's hard for me to say that defensive back made a good play, but Herman sure did that time.
Miami in danger of being shut out in the first half for the first time this year if they don't get something. 2nd and 10 from the 11. Marino, touchdown. Tony Nathan. So the Dolphin fans finally get something to cheer about. 11 yards on the touchdown pass from Dan Marino to Tony Nathan. And you talk about a quick delivery. Marino with that rifle, that quick release, just as the pressure was closing in, fired that ball and put it right on the money. That's his 30th touchdown pass of the year. Von Schamann has missed 3 extra points this year, but he's got this one. 14 with 1:12 left to play in the first half.
Well, Marino shows the experience beyond his years here. They're taking away his wide receivers, so he has to hit his backs over the middle. And there's Tony Nathan beating Mike Reichenbach again. And I think the Eagles are going to have to make an adjustment because the 2 big plays in that drive were Tony Nathan, and both times he beat Mike Reichenbach.
Well, tell me, Gene Fugett, do you think Dan Marino ever saw his 30th touchdown pass land?
Sometimes he has to wait and listen to the crowd to be sure, because right there he was wrapped up.
But look at that concentration all the way as Marino delivers. Keep in mind, as you look at the scoring drive, that the all-time record for touchdown passes in a season is 36. And Marino is just 6 away from that at this point, with 5.5 games left. The ball flew off the tee just as Von Schamann advanced on it. A little gust of wind caught the football just as he started his run up. Coming up at halftime, the NFL Today, we've got Brent Nerve in the studio in New York with scores and highlights. And the feature today, Legends of the Game, one of the great quarterbacks of all time, Sid Luckman of the old Chicago Bears.
That was a little before my time, Frank.
And mine. Von Schamann ready to kick off. Evan Cooper in the center of the deep formation. Joe Hayes fields this one at the 15th, and Hayes is down at the 22-yard line. And an exchange of words among members of the specialty team. Robert Sowell of the Miami Dolphins, one of the premier guys and kick return teams in the league.
That's right. Bob Matheson, who used to be number 53 for the Dolphins, is now the special teams coach, and he really likes number 45, Robert Sowell, because he gets down and gets in the action almost every time. There, what a tackle.
Sowell is probably one of their main contenders for that new berth in the Pro Bowl, which will go this year to strictly a specialty teams player. 1st and 10. Eagles from the 24-yard line. Jaworski, undaunted, comes out throwing. Sideline toss, completes it to Woodruff at the 40, and he is up to the 44-yard line.
Well, the Eagles are not going to sit on a 7-point lead.
Eagles still have all 3 timeouts left with 59 seconds left to play in the half, and now they use 1 to stop the clock. And of course, a couple of more passes and they could be easily within McFadden's range. McFadden last week against Detroit had 2 field goals in excess of 50 yards. First time an Eagle has ever done that in one game. Timeout. I believe at this point the Philadelphia Eagles have gotten the Miami Dolphins' attention. It'll be 1st and 10 as we head back to play. Eagles at their 44-yard line.
I say if they haven't, Frank, Shula will get the Dolphins' attention at halftime.
Absolutely. Woodruff left side, quick, split off to the right, up at the top of your screen. Eagles trying to get in position to get at least a field goal out of this drive before intermission. Over the middle, completing it to the tight end. That's the first reception of the day for John Spagnuolo, who's had an outstanding year and carries the ball to the 47-yard line.
Eagles
Clock continues to roll. 40 seconds, within 40. Eagles have 2 timeouts left. Jaworski over the middle, again to Spagnuolo, this time to the 40. Realistically, they probably need another 10 yards or so to get inside of McFadden's range, so that stops the clock now with 30 seconds, 1 timeout left for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, coming into this game, some of the Dolphins were talking about clinching their division title this weekend, which they could do, provided the New England and the Jets lose, but I don't think they're thinking about it right now.
That's right. There's number 2, Horan, and he was talking to the kicker, McFadden, telling him to get that shoe off and get loose. You know, Jaworski's been enjoying excellent protection, especially in this 2-minute drive. And the thing is, he likes to throw those control passes in the situation because he knows that both of his outside wide receivers will be doubled. And the man they like to go to is their big tight end, number 88, John Spagnuolo out of Yale. When John first came into the league, a lot of people had questions about whether he'd be able to be a tight end. At the time, he was backing up Keith Krepfle, another former great tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles. But he put on some weight, and he learned how to get open over the middle, and they really liked him on those controlled pass situations, those little short 10-yard dinks over the middle.
Second half of the CBS doubleheader, depending on where you happen to be, you'll see the Cowboys take on St. Louis, 2 of the 4 teams tied for the lead in the NFC East, or the Giants against Tampa Bay, or Chicago against the Los Angeles Rams. So be sure and stay with us. Big afternoon of football.
Well, we're getting close to field goal range. I think they're about a first down away from getting into McFadden's distance.
First down, Eagles at the Dolphin 40-yard line, leading 14-7. Over the middle, and this time Spagnuolo can't hold it. Pass a little bit low. He was trailed by A.J. Dewey.
There's 88, Big John Spagnuolo, tight end out of Yale.
Missed all of last year with that neck injury, and there was some concern about whether or not he could come back, but he's coming back with his best year.
That's right. He's the number 2 receiver on the team.
They'll set up a 2nd and 10. Again, keep in mind the Eagles have 1 timeout left. Philadelphia at the 40. McFadden standing on the sidelines, wondering if he'll get a shot here. Pressure on Jaworski, gets it away. Spagnuolo can't hold it. Spagnuolo had it. A very catchable ball at the 10-yard line. And that thing had touchdown written all over it.
Here, Spagnuolo's being covered by a linebacker. He gets behind Brzezinski. He's open. And, oh, his head did not get around. If you saw that time, the ball went past his face, but he did not follow it. And that's the common fault for most receivers who do not catch passes. They do not watch it all the way into their hands. And I know he's thinking about it now.
He's tied with Doug Cosby of the Cowboys for most receptions among tight ends in the NFC, but that had a touchdown written all over it for the Philadelphia Eagles. It is now 3rd and 10, 19 seconds. They still need, I would say, another 10 yards to give McFadden a shot at it, unless they want to try a 60-yarder. Jaworski under pressure, over the middle, the ball batted around, incomplete. Mike Quick, number 82, was the intended receiver. And let's see what Campbell's decision is here on 4th and 10 from the Dolphin 40-yard line with 14 seconds to go. And they've got the one timeout left.
There was a little confusion on that play, maybe as a result of the Dolphin blitz, where there was a running back, number 26, Haddix, who was right near Quick that time, and that was the reason that that pass was not completed.
What are they doing here now? Are they going to go for it on 4th and 10, figuring that they can run out the clock? And yep,
that's right.
Too long range from McFadden. Eagles are going to go for it on 4th and 10 from the Dolphin 40. They still have one timeout to work with if they can get the first. Jaworski caught behind the line, looking for help, gets it downfield. It's picked off. Intercepted over on the far sideline by Lyle Blackwood. Play was whistled dead back at the 30-yard line, so the Dolphins are going to take over with no time left on the clock. Jaworski, though he couldn't get the reception, managed to move around long enough, so the clock ran down to 0-0. Don Shula and the Dolphins and the Eagles heading to the locker room. Into the first half. Eagles lead it 14-7.
Possession, they have kept the ball out of the hands of the Miami Dolphins. It's kind of tough to score if your offense doesn't. They have kept the ball out of the hands of the Miami Dolphins. It's kind of tough to score if your offense doesn't have it. And the Eagles have not been able to run the ball all year. And sure enough, they're running in the first half.
Well, you're looking at a team that's averaged 77 yards per game rushing. That's for the entire game, and they're 117 at halftime against what many feel the best team in pro football. But what about the job the Eagles defense is doing on the Dolphins?
Well, the Eagle defense is doing what they wanted to do, Frank, and that is they wanted to keep everything in front of them and make the Dolphins drive the length of the field. Take away the big play, although they almost got burned, but Mark Clayton dropped it. But try to make them drive rather than let them score in 2 or 3 plays.
Well, there were a lot of big plays in that first half, but I think maybe the biggest of all was that 4th and 1 and the job that the Eagles did on the goal line on Pete Johnson.
That was quite a play, and on that play you can see the Eagle defensive line getting a 2-yard penetration into the backfield, so that makes Johnson have to jump about 3 yards into the end zone. But Mike Reichenbach, who's been having trouble on pass defense, did an incredible job on the goal line to help keep the Dolphins out of the end zone on that play.
Well, obviously 14-7. It's still anyone's football game at this point. What do you feel that Shula will have to say coming out here in the second half? What do you feel the Dolphins are going to do?
Well, Shula has to be a little concerned because you just cannot turn it on and turn it off. All year, the Dolphins have been carried by their offense, but today they're going to need some big plays by the defense so that the Dolphin offense can get back on the field and do what they do best, score points.
Eagles doing quite a bit of double coverage on the wide receivers. One thing we haven't seen much of is the Dolphins going to their tight end.
Well, the Dolphins will have to do that. The Eagles are testing the patience of Dan Marino by taking away his outside receivers. So he's going to have to hit Tony Nathan more and look for Dan Johnson or Jim Jensen, who comes in on 3rd down as a tight end over the middle, because the Eagles are not covering them as well as the wide receivers.
And the Eagles, of course, need to keep the fire going in the second half. We'll see if they can do it when we come back with the second half kickoff in just a moment.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Subaru, inexpensive and built to stay that way. U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start. And by Radio Shack, the computer experts.
Paul Paul McFadden getting ready to kick off to start the second half for the Philadelphia Eagles. Fulton Walker once again the deep man for the Dolphins. And his first possession should be a very big one for the Dolphins, because if the Eagles can hold him at this point, it could get very interesting for the remainder of the afternoon. If the Dolphins do score, we'll have to see what it does to the confidence of the Eagles. Walker at the 7, 15, 20. End over end across the 25-yard line and up to the 26. Byron Darby, number 94, on the stop.
Many coaches will tell you that the first series of the second half, both offensively and defensively, is the most important series of the whole game. And when a game is as close as it is now, the game could hang in the balance of this first series.
Marino in the first half, 11 out of 17, 1 interception, 151 yards passing. And 1 touchdown throw, of course, his 30th of the year. Clayton in motion across the backfield. They'll start on the ground with Joe Carter. And the rookie carries to the 27, maybe the 28, for a pickup of 2 yards.
Shula likes Joe Carter quite a bit. He's a rookie running back from Alabama. Shula's son is playing quarterback at Alabama, and Carter lost his job last year to a kid who's supposed to be very, very good and didn't play a whole lot. But Shula, who has scouts all over, including his son, got a good tip. And he likens Joe Carter a little bit to the style of Tony Dorsett, because he's very powerful and very fast, and Shula's looking for great things from him in the future.
Pickup of 2 yards on that play. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Dolphins at their 29-yard line. Those victories extend over 2 years. That's what's at stake. Marino. Intended for Clayton. And battling with him was Herman Edwards, and Clayton thought he was interfered with.
What you're seeing on the screen now is the sign of an uptight team. They're down. Shula probably gave it to him at halftime, and they made some adjustments. You won't see that play a lot by the Dolphins, because normally Marino enjoys such great protection from the pocket that he rarely has to roll out. But if we take a look at the end of the play, you can see what he was a little upset about, because there's a little bumping going on down there. But the official said both people were going for the ball.
Well, Clayton thought that Edwards arrived a second too soon. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Dolphins at their 29. Shotgun. Marino. Picking out the field. Intended for Jimmy Cephalo, and Cephalo thought he should have had it. In fact, looked like he was about to punt that thing up into the stands, and then thought better of it.
A great decision by Marino, because he wanted Nat Moore, who was double teamed over the middle on the right side, so then he had to go to the left to Jimmy Cephalo, number 81, who's single covered. But number 21, Evan Cooper, comes up with a big play. And I tell you, this first series is important. Now it's going to be important for the Eagles to get a little drive going.
So the Eagles have stopped the Dolphins on their first offensive possession. Roby in to do the punting, and Evan Cooper, the Eagle rookie, is standing back at the 24. Great kick. Absolute moonshot. Back to the 5. Cooper at the 10, 15, and up to the 17-yard line. And here is Roby going after it with Andre Waters, number 20 of the Eagles. They were involved in a wrestling match. There was no flag thrown. But did he get all of that one?
No question. Look at his concentration. It was a poor snap. But I tell you, the punters are great athletes. It was a great catch, and he boomed. But he's looking out, because he knows that sometimes teams are assign people to ruffle the kicker. So here he goes down. He figures it's all done. And number 20 for the Eagles,
that's
Andre Waters, says, look, you're a football player after you kick it, so you better keep your head up.
64 yards on the punt by Roby. A 12-yard return. First down for the Eagles at their 16-yard line. They lead 14-7. Early in the 3rd period of play, and they go back to the ground, which served them well in the first half, as Hubie Oliver carries over the right side. The 4th-year man from Arizona is stopped by A.J. Dewey. College basketball season virtually upon us, a couple of weeks from now. And our CBS schedule opens up with a blockbuster. The Louisville Cardinals and the Indiana Hoosiers. First time that Denny Crum and Bobby Knight have ever coached against each other. We'll have it for you here, 1 o'clock Eastern time. That's on November 24th for the return of NCAA college basketball. Home of the Final Four, the CBS. Not much there this time for Michael Williams, who's been alternating with Wilbert Montgomery. And one adjustment, obviously, the Dolphins have made is to the Eagle running game.
That's right. The Eagles have gone back to their first half game plan, which was so successful, that of running the ball right at the Dolphins. The Dolphins obviously made some second half adjustments to shut off that first and second down run, which is going to force Jaworski perhaps later in the game to pass on first or second down.
It is 3rd and 5. Philadelphia at its 21-yard line. Jaworski in the shotgun. Again, the noise level picks up. Dewey with a big rush. Jaworski running out of the pocket. Gets rid of the pass and completes it for the first down. Tremendous job by both Jaworski and by Quick, who caught the ball. Jaworski somehow sensed that Dewey, 77, was coming up the middle and stepped out of the way.
That's right. A.J. is number 77, and he's down, and he's going to come into your picture from the left side. Here he comes. But Jaworski has a presence of mind to roll out, and he's looking for somebody to get open. He says, please, somebody get open. And Mike Quick, he's the man he always looks for with a big first down.
Little extra bump there from Rodell Thomas. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at their 28-yard line. One back offense. Oliver gets a tough yard, and Bob Baumhauer, number 73, the nose tackle.
We hadn't heard Bob's name mentioned too much in the first half because we talked about earlier how Dennard had played 5 years for the Dolphins and practiced against Baumhauer every day. And I think you got to give the first half to Dennard, but Baumhauer said there are 2 halves to a game.
The 2 Michaels in the backfield for the Eagles. Michael Williams, number 32. Michael Haddix, number 26. 2nd and 8 from the 30-yard line. Busting it outside is number 26, Haddix, who takes it across the 50-yard line to the 47. And that's another Eagle first down.
What happened on that play is that the Dolphins were in a pass defense, so there was no linebacker there to support that run. And a great cut by Haddix. And Campbell says that one day he's going to be a great fullback in this league.
A 21-yard pickup by Michael Haddix and an Eagle first down at the 49-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. And now the Eagles doing what they did to Don Shula's Dolphins in the first half, and that is controlling the football and keeping it away from the potent Miami offense. A reverse. This time it's Williams. And he will be close to another first down at the 40-yard line. A little trickery here, first time for the Eagles.
Well, they've been running the ball, running the ball, running the ball. So now it's time to slow that pursuit down by using reverse. Here you see they have almost everybody wedged in, but Dewey comes out, but he's blocked. But he still manages to get his hand on his ankle a little bit to slow him up. And the rest of the Dolphins come up to make a tackle. That's Blackwood right there.
That run a moment ago by Haddix for 21 yards is the longest run from scrimmage by the Eagles this year. Their previous long was 19. They have a 2nd and 1 at the Dolphin 40-yard line. Straight power up the middle with Haddix driving for the first down at the 37-yard line. Haddix came up last year and to some was a big disappointment to the Philadelphia Eagles because James Jones was
here you
still
get
there.
A look at 77 Dewey and number 55 Ernie Roan, the middle linebackers for the Dolphins, coming up to block that run. You see they're being met by guards right in the hole and they're trying to push back. Look at Roan holding that face mask. You think that's legal?
As long as you get away with it, I guess.
That's right.
Great job, though, of blocking by Steve Kenny. First down, Eagles at the 36-yard line of the Dolphins. Haddix. Behind his center, Mark Dennard. Oh, I tell you, Dennard, if he was pumped up going into this ball game, he has really got to be pumped up here midway in the third quarter going up against his old team and with the success that the Eagles offensive line has had blocking.
Frankie was so pumped up before the game that he could barely talk. He was saying, I'm not thinking anymore. I just want to go out and play. But obviously he had to be excited. I know I was excited the first time I went back to Dallas when I was a Redskin.
Got to be an emotional moment for Mark Dennard if his Eagles can keep it up. This is the Eagles' first offensive possession of the second half. They're looking at a 2nd and 7 from the Dolphin 34. Haddix over the right side inside the 30. Looks like he'll be about a yard short of the first down with third down coming up.
The Eagles are sick and tired of hearing about the Cardinals. They've been hearing about the Giants. They've been hearing about the Cowboys. But they haven't been hearing much about the Eagles. And they want to change that today.
Eagles now with a season-high 165 yards rushing against one of the best defensive teams in pro football. This, again, is a team, keep in mind, that has averaged 77 yards per game rushing. So they've more than doubled that. Third down. Closer to 2 needed for the first down. From the Dolphins 29. They go with Haddix. He drives forward, and it'll be close. From our angle, I don't believe he made it, but this may be close enough for measurement as Baumhauer, the nose tackle, comes up to make the stop. Tom Dooley, the referee, calling an official timeout as I think we'll bring in the change. Let's see.
In on that tackle was number 56 for the Dolphins, Charles Bowser. Bowser is a guy that makes things happen for the Dolphins. He forces fumbles, he makes sacks, and he makes big plays on third down.
If they don't make the first down here, you're going to get a chance to be a real second guesser. Should the Eagles go for it on fourth?
No.
Or should they try the field goal?
This is real easy. When you have a guy like McFadden over on the sideline, here's a guy who already has 19 field goals, and he's just 5 away from being the all-time leader in the season for the Eagles. Because Dempsey kicked 24 in 1973, and McFadden already has 19. On the sideline, he says you lock in mentally. You just think about the time and what you have to do, and you wait for the coach to give you the word. So Marion Campbell's giving him the word.
The word is a 45-yard field goal. Plenty long and perfect. McFadden. And that would have been good from 55.
Sure looked like it from here.
So the Eagles strike first in the second half. And take a look at the reaction here of Mr. McFadden.
Because he knows this field goal is important. That first drive, I told you, coming out in the second half, that first drive is important. Look at Jaworski. Those two Youngstown guys, they're really excited. Look at Ron.
The Penguins from Youngstown State celebrating an Eagle lead at 17-7. And now McFadden, who kicked the field goal, is ready to kick off to Fulton Walker, who has returned 3 so far. Barefoot kicker, high kick, and very short. Coming down to the far side, looks like Eddie Hill, number 31, at the 25, across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Got underneath that one a little bit too much. Second half of the CBS doubleheader today. Again, depending on where you happen to be, you'll see the Cowboys and the Cardinals. Those of you in Tallahassee and most of Pennsylvania will watch that game. Giants in Tampa Bay. Those of you in Rhode Island and western New York State will look in on the Giants in Tampa Bay. And those of you in Orlando will see Chicago take on the Los Angeles Rams. And, of course, most of the teams involved are in the NFC East, which is the tightest race in pro football right now, with 4 teams tied for the lead heading into today's action. First and 10 Dolphins at their 31-yard line. This is only their second possession of the second half. Marino completes it. Nathan at the 40. Up to the 44-yard line to pick up a 12 and a first down for Miami. Joe Williams makes the stop.
This is the type of pass that Dan Marino will have to complete before he can get to his wide receivers. They're doubling the wide receivers outside, so it's open in the middle. And there's Tony Nathan with a great move turning upfield, and that's the way the Dolphins like to get the ball to him.
Well, we talked about at halftime that he might go more to the running backs and the tight ends here in the third period. First and 10 from the 44. Joe Carter trying to get outside, crosses the 45 after the 46-yard line. Ken Clark, number 71, the nose tackle on the stop, along with Dennis Harrison, number 68. There's Bigfoot, huh?
That's right. And he's big, too.
What did he say? He's 20. He told us yesterday he's 27 years old. He's got 5 youngsters from 7 on down.
That's right. He doesn't waste time on the field or at home.
Second down. Dolphins need 8 for the first down. They're at their 46-yard line. And they trail in the entire football game. Down 17-7. Marino under pressure, lets it go. Duper went up high, and Duper is hurt. Duper went up high and took a tremendous shot in the ribs from Wes Hopkins, number 48, and Duper is shaken up. If you're a wide receiver, that is murder in that area.
Duper said he knew he'd have to catch some over the middle today, but he also knew that number 43, Wes Hopkins, roams that secondary and likes to separate receivers from the ball. Here he comes down and drives the corner. He makes a square-in cut, and here comes Hopkins in the middle of the picture, right at his ribs. And it's kind of tough to hold on to the ball with that kind of pressure. Here again, you see the hit, and that hurts, Frank. That hurts.
You sound like a man who's been there. 5 minutes, 8 seconds left to play, third quarter, timeout. Mark Duper trotted off the field under his own power, and if he was hurting, he wasn't about the Eagles to let them know he was. Third down and 8 for the Dolphins as we get back to play from their 46-yard line. Marino out of the shotgun, drills a bullet to Jensen. And the versatile Jensen makes the grab at the 41 of the Eagles to keep the drive going.
Well, the Dolphins made that adjustment. Number 11, Jensen, comes in and plays a tight end position. He's also the third-string quarterback. He plays quite a few positions for the Dolphins, and he's made some big plays already this year. When he comes in on that third down passing situation, he lines up as the tight end, and that's who Marino's going to have to go to, the tight end or the running back on his passing game.
He comes out because Duper has just come back in the ball game. He's down at the bottom of your screen off to the right. Clayton is split to the left after the 14-yard pickup on the previous play. First down from the 41 of Philadelphia. Marino over the middle. Nathan can't hold it. Eagles trying to do a little intimidation job that time on Nathan by Reggie Wilkes, number 51. Take a look at how they're blocking the nose tackle.
Well, Dwight Stevenson was the all-pro center last year, and you can see why, because he's very, very strong. I asked him, how can you block with your hand between your legs? But he says, I'm like a guard. I snap, I back up, and then go forward. And you see him chasing, getting Kenny Clark out of the play.
With an assist from Roy Foster, number 61. So a double team job on the nose tackle that time. It's 2nd and 10 for the Dolphins at the Eagle 41-yard line. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left, third quarter. Dolphins trail 17-7. Marino steps up in the pocket, hits Clayton. First down at the 24. Herman Edwards on the stop.
Well, the heat may be beginning to take a toll on the Eagle pass rush because they're not getting in and pressuring Marino. Here, Clayton has time to come down and give a good curl move and come in. Although Edwards again tries to separate him from the ball, but Clayton, with excellent concentration, pulls it in for a big first down for the Dolphins.
18-yard pickup on the play. Clayton's 4th reception for 75 yards. 1st and 10 at the 23. Quick count play this time. Joe Carter caught from behind as he tried to turn the corner by Greg Brown, number 98. That was the right end defensively. Brown, who trailed that play and didn't give Carter a chance to get moving. That's the time remaining in the third quarter here at the Orange Bowl.
All 3 guys on that Eagle defensive line have good speed because you don't usually see defensive ends run down halfbacks from behind.
Brown, they feel, is a real 5. Clayton to the left side, Duper to the right. Nathan and Bennett are the setbacks on 2nd down. 11. Marino again with a lot of time, going to the tight end, Dan Johnson, at the 15-yard line. That is the tight end's first reception of the day.
That time he had single coverage. He was covered by number 59, Joel Williams. And Marino sees the single coverage and gets it out there to him. Dan Johnson had a little trouble bringing it in, but he was managed to hold on for a nice grab.
Now Johnson has just taken himself out of the game. He was shaken up on the play, and Bruce Hardy is in to replace him at tight end. That's the numbers on Marino so far this afternoon. Very impressive, despite the fact he hasn't been able to put the touchdowns up there in the quantity as before. Dolphins call a timeout as they're about to put it in play on 3rd and 2 from the 15-yard line. Shula conferring with Don Strock, who is Marino's backup. 2 minutes, 18 seconds left in the third period. Back in just a moment. Dolphins have a 3rd and 2 upcoming. They've got the elephant backfield in there. Pete Johnson, number 46, and Woody Bennett, number 34. Miami from the Philadelphia 15-yard line. And they're going to throw it at the 1-yard line. Complete for the first down. Nat Moore on the reception.
Well, they didn't have much success in the first half with Pete Johnson up the middle, so how about trying to fake the Pete? Marino looking right, coming back left. Nat Moore one-on-one, and he's going to always be open when he gets one-on-one coverage. That was a tough catch, by the way, a little low.
Excellent catch. 12-yard pickup. The officials are going to spot it at the 2-yard line. First and goal to go. Moore gets a big cheer as he comes out. Once again, the elephant backfield behind Marino. Eagles stopped him down here in the first half. It goes to Bennett. He runs in for the score.
Well, it was tough last time, but not this time. They get some good blocking. This time you'll see that the defensive line doesn't get that penetration, and Woody Bennett can pick his hole and run in. But you got to give credit to the Eagle defense because they did their job. They made Miami drive the length of the field and didn't have a quick 6.
One of the Eagle players was shaken up on that touchdown run by Bennett. So we've got an official timeout here prior to the extra point try. And we'll get his number for you as soon as we can. 2 minutes, 7 seconds left in the third period. 17-13. Eagles. Look at the job the offensive line of the Dolphins did in opening this hole for Bennett.
That's right. Watch 46 Pete Johnson come up and seal down everything on the inside, which allows Woody Bennett a big hole to get in.
Now, is that a hole or is that a hole? Dennis Harrison is the injured Eagle player. The defensive end. A moment ago, they're looking at the area of his left knee. And he is obviously hurting. It is very warm and very humid. Temperature in the 80s. And the humidity not that far behind. And the heat may be taking its toll. And maybe it's just a cramp. Well, the way he's walking off would indicate that perhaps it is just a cramp. Dennis Harrison certainly would be a big loss for these Philadelphia Eagles, but walking off okay, and perhaps it is just a cramp. We've got the extra point try to come.
Well, the heat could be a factor as we get later into the game because the Dolphins have been sitting, the Eagles have been sitting right in the sun all afternoon.
Uwe von Schammel. Perfect. 17-14. Eagles lead the Dolphins, but the Dolphins coming on now with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left to play in the third period. Take a look at the rest of the scores on the National Football League. Washington ran up a 28-0 lead on Detroit, but the Lions have finally scored. That looks like a laugher. Minnesota, Green Bay has been tight all the way. It continues that way in the third period. 49ers look like they've got it together offensively and defensively. Buffalo and New England are tied. Indianapolis leading the Jets by 1 run in the third inning. And Pittsburgh over Cincinnati in the third period. Now, should Miami come back and win this game, and should the Jets lose and New England lose, Miami would clinch its title today with 5 games to go. They've got a 4-game lead in their division. Uwe von Schammel ready to kick off to Evan Cooper. Cooper, 4th-round draft pick from the University of Michigan. 6 yards deep in the end zone. And the Eagles offense will take over at the 20-yard line on the touchback. Second game of the CBS doubleheader. Again, keep in mind, 2 of the teams, the 4 teams, tied for the top spot in the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys and the St. Louis Cardinals will collide in St. Louis. Those of you in Tallahassee and most of Pennsylvania will watch it. Giants at Tampa Bay, and those of you in Rhode Island and western New York State will see that one. And Chicago and the Rams will be beamed to Orlando, Florida. Beautiful afternoon here. That is the time remaining in the third quarter of what's been a great football game so far between the Dolphins and the Eagles. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Jaworski Sideline throw, intercepted. Intercepted by Paul Langford, number 44, who timed it just perfect. Langford looked like he smelled that one was coming.
That's right. It's an out pattern, and Jaworski didn't get it out there with enough zip on it, and Langford made an excellent play on the ball. There's quick, but the pass was a little late, as you could see. And Paul Langford, who's filling in for the injured Don McNeil, really came up with a big play.
His second interception of the year, and the Dolphins with great field position and a chance to drive for the lead for the first time today. First down at the 27-yard line of the Eagles. Tony Nathan over the right side to about the 23. Before he's stacked up by Byron Darby, number 94. By the way, the word on Harrison, Dennis Harrison, the injured Eagle, a bruised knee, and he could be back. A minute and a half left in the third period. Second down, 7. Dolphins at the Eagle 23-yard line. Regular split in the backfield. Someone may have jumped there, but no flag. Marino gets the pass away to Nathan. That's good for a first down at the 12. And this crowd, which sat on its hands most of the first half, is suddenly very much into this football game.
That's right, and so is Tony Nathan, because the Eagles do not have a linebacker that can cover Nathan one-on-one. But what do? Do you double him, or do you double Duper and Clayton?
That's the choice you have to make. First and 10 from the 12. Marino's numbers looking better by the minute. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 1 back in there right now, and that's Bennett. Bennett gets the call behind Roy Foster to the 5. Big hold on the left side.
The Dolphin running game is opened up by the passing. Look at 61 Foster get out in front of Woody Bennett. Great block. Bennett cuts back. Duper almost gets a block downfield. If Duper had made that block, Bennett could have walked in. But these runs are set up now because of the passes. Now the passes have been going. These linebackers are playing a little loose, which enables them to get stretched out on the run. And Woody stretched them out and cut back behind a good block by Foster.
Dolphins need to reach the 2 for the first down, but the clock has run out here in the third period. And these Dolphins fans finally love what they're seeing. That's the end of the third quarter with the score 17-14 Eagles. We now pause for a word from your local station.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Pontiac. Cars built with a feel for the road. Pontiac, we build excitement. Miller High Life, welcome to Miller Time. And by the people of AT&T Communications.
The Miami Dolphins going for the go-ahead touchdown as a concerned Marion Campbell looks on from the sideline. Don Shula feeling a little better now the way things are going, as his team has a 2nd and 3 upcoming for the first down. They have to reach the 2 for the first down and 5 for the touchdown, which will put him in the lead for the first time in this ballgame. It is Jensen going for Moore, and Nat Moore can't reach it. How about that little shift just before the snap? We haven't seen that before, have we, that particular move?
No, because I think they saw that when they make a shift like that, the Eagles also have to make a shift defensively. And it can be very confusing if you're running around trying to get in position before the snap. Another thing, you can see the sweat on Dan Marino's face. They say it's 81 degrees here, but it's got to be hotter on the field. And I know the Eagles have to be concerned about their conditioning, because it's not easy for a team who's been practicing in cool weather to play a game in hot weather.
Once again, the Dolphins with the bull elephant backfield in there. Johnson and Bennett. Last time they showed this, though, they threw the football. 3rd and 3, it is Bennett. He'll be close for the first down, and I think he's got it up for the first inside the 2-yard line. Woody Bennett, who played his college football right here at Miami of Florida.
Boy, I know Woody loves to follow Pete Johnson. It's like following a Mack truck down the highway. Get good gas miles.
First down, Dolphins.
They're going to come on the left side this time. Marino whips around and hands it off to Bennett, who was in the I formation. And there's a crunching block by Pete Johnson. Look at him. He follows him, stays right behind him. Cartwheels in there for a big first down.
Don Shula on the sidelines as the Dolphins come up to the line of scrimmage. First and goal to go from the 2-yard line. Somebody jumped. Bennett trying to leap over the top. He's short of the goal line, but the Eagles may have been offside. So we'll let Tom Dooley, the referee, figure this one out. Offside against Philadelphia, which will cost the Eagles half the distance to the goal.
Offside, defense, first down.
Well, you ask how the nose tackle can be offside. You know, he saw number 71, Ken Clark, jump there.
That's another indication sometimes when you get a little tired, your concentration is not what it should be. And if you're defensive lineman, you're supposed to watch that ball only.
First and goal to go from the 1-yard line. Second man through. Bennett did not get in. Eagles are fighting and clawing and scratching for every inch. Keep in mind the great goal line defense in the first half. Can they do it again?
Here's the play they scored on last time. A Pete Johnson lead off the right tackle. But that time, Bennett took off too soon. You saw he didn't wait until he got to the pile to jump over. But he jumped a little earlier, and that was why he was able to be stopped on that play.
Second and goal. Inside the 1. Campbell. Marion Campbell. Hands on knees, looking on. Johnson. I don't believe he got it. It'll be third and goal. He did not get in. Can they do it again? Shula trying to figure out what to call next and sending in Woody Bennett, number 34, with the play.
I bet he sent in a pass play. Because the last time he was down in this situation when they got stopped in the first half, he should have sent a pass play in, but he didn't, and they got stopped.
The Swamp Fox, who appreciates good defense when he sees it, and he's seeing it. And his Eagles, third down, less than a yard, inside the 1. It is Pete Johnson, touchdown.
Here, that right side of the Dolphin line gets a tremendous push. You see them containing Woody Bennett with a great block on the corner, and Pete Johnson does the rest. And the Dolphins feel like they have a 100-pound weight off their back right now.
They lead for the first time in this ball game with 13 minutes and 23 seconds left to play in the game. They have trailed for 3 quarters plus. Uwe Benjamin. The extra point attempt is good. And the Dolphins have a 4-point advantage. As a result of the turnover, the interception by Langford would set it up. Well, when you get the big pass interception, as the Dolphins did, and you have only 26 yards to travel, that's not much of a drive for the Dolphins offense, but they had to fight for every yard when it got down to the goal line, finally sending Pete Johnson across. Benjamin ready to kick off. Miami with a 4-point lead after trailing early, 14-0. Coming down to the near side, Andre Waters from the 10 across the 20 to the 21, where he's drilled by Jim Jensen, Mr. Everything. Crash Jensen of the Dolphins, number 11 on the stop. Coming up next Sunday on CBS. An interesting assortment of battles. NFC East, St. Louis and the Giants. That'll be in New York. Tampa Bay will take on the San Francisco 49ers out on the West Coast. Most of our Florida viewers will see that ball game. You think you've got a good ball club here in Miami? San Francisco's not that far behind.
That's right.
1st and 10 now on the Eagles. Can they keep going? Can they get it back? We're going to find out. Haddix gets a couple up the middle. Ernie Roan, number 55, on the stop. Roan, 9th-year man who was signed as a free agent back in 1975 from Henderson State. Quickly, an update on other scores around the NFL. Atlanta leading the Saints in the 3rd quarter. San Francisco putting it on Cleveland. Packers in front of Minnesota. Buffalo, New England. It's also a 3rd quarter score. And Cincinnati and Pittsburgh in a tight one. 2nd down, 8. Jaworski looking downfield. Completes the pass. Close to the 1st down. And it was Ernie Roan making the stop, this time with the tight end Spagnola, number 88.
That was an interesting play that time because they sent Mike Quick in motion and then kept him in the block, still tying him in. There's 88 getting a good release, John Spagnola from the linebacker, and there he uncovers. He finds a hole between the linebackers, makes the big control pass. They like to go to him in that situation, and now they're going to measure for a 1st down.
So they bring in the change from the far side. Looks like the Eagles maybe just, well, let's see.
Tug of war there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Gotta be close.
I always love the way these officials spot the ball. You know, sometimes they put it up a little, sometimes they put it back.
You know, you've played against the Eagles many times, being a member of the Cowboys and the Redskins. Anything stand out in your mind?
Well, the Eagles like to be underdogs. They like to come up with a big play in a big game, you know. And today, you can see what they did in the 1st half, but they're not going to be able to run the ball as well the 2nd half. And Jaworski's going to have to be able to shake off that interception in the last series and pass the ball. But this is going to be a run this time.
Jaworski, 10 out of 20, 135 yards. He's had 2 picked off, thrown 2 touchdown passes. 3rd down, less than a yard. Hubie Oliver needed just a matter of a couple of feet. And didn't get much more, if that.
Jaworski signaling 1st down.
Well, if you're a team like the Eagles, not used to playing in this heat and humidity, by now it does have to be a little draining.
That's right. There's number 63 shaken up.
Ron Baker.
Ron Baker, who's been having an excellent game at guard. And he's been really a big part of that running game in the 1st half. So you know they don't want to lose him.
We're going to let the officials decide it here, and they feel that it's close enough for yet another measurement.
And here's again another tough situation on a placement, because when you have a big pileup and the guy with the ball is not really on the ground, where do you put the ball? Well, we'll see where they put it this time.
Big measurement here for the Eagles. They needed to retain possession. That was a 3rd down play, and they did not get it. They did not get it. And the Eagles will have to punt with 11:57 left to play in the game. Marion Campbell disappointed, along with Ted Marchibroda over there, the offensive coordinator, as they sent Oliver up the middle in an attempt to pick up the 1.5 they needed. He didn't get it.
And in 2 series, Frank, the defense, Dolphin defense, has come up with 2 big plays, an interception and a big 3rd down stop.
Colton Walker is deep as Horan prepares to punt. Now Walker is joined by Kozlowski. Good snap, good kick. Nice sailor. Driving Walker back to the 15. 20. Finally dropped the 31-yard line. 54 yards on the punt, 16 on the return as Horan almost outkicked his coverage. And we've got a timeout here in Miami. The Miami Dolphins trying to go 11-0 and feeling a lot better about their chances as they finally taken the lead, 21-17. Marino comes out throwing from the 30, going for all of it to Clayton. Overthrew him down at the 20-yard line. We talked to Marino yesterday. What did you ask him how far he could throw it?
He said he's been throwing the ball at least 65 yards, but the most amazing thing is he's been throwing it that long since high school.
Everybody's trying to get inside the brain of this man, and one of the reasons he's really done so well, go back to his offense in college. It was a pass offense. In over 4 years, he threw over 1,000 passes out of a passing offense, and probably a lot more ready for the NFL than just about any quarterback come out in recent years.
That's right. Repetition really helps you to improve, and he certainly had a lot of opportunities to throw the ball.
2nd and 10, Dolphins at their 30-yard line. One back setup, and that one back is Nathan, who gets the call. 35, 40, 45, across the 50. Counting Nathan, his biggest gainer of the afternoon, finally halted by Wes Hopkins. But not till he picks up a first down at the Eagle 47.
Let's watch the middle with Kenny Clark and Dwight Stevenson. There, Stevenson gets a great turn on him, and you can begin to see the Dolphins getting a little tired. See, there's no one out there, and usually the Eagles are swarming around that ball. And I think this heat is starting to wear him down, the heat and the Miami Dolphin momentum.
22 yards on the pickup, first down, Dolphins at the Eagle 47-yard line. Again, Nathan, this time we get a flag. That is the first penalty marker that has been thrown against Miami this afternoon. Eagles have been penalized 6 times for 31 yards, and the Dolphins, who traditionally are among the least penalized teams in pro football.
False start, 74 offense, first down.
They're guilty of this one. Cleveland Green, number 4, guilty. There's the time left in the game. Herman Edwards on the sidelines for the Eagles. He is out with dizziness. And again, I think that can be attributed to the heat. And Jerry Robinson has also had to take a seat on the bench. That bruised shoulder is acting up again. So a couple of big dents right now in the Eagle defense.
If you look at the screen now, you can see the shadows by the Dolphin bench. And the Dolphins aren't getting sun on their face, but on their back. But the Eagles are looking right at that sun.
And you don't think that bench placement is intentional? 1st and 15. Dolphins back at their 48-yard line. Jensen in motion. Nathan lost the ball, fell on it at the 45 after picking up 7 yards.
There's a good view, and you can see the tight tackle coming around trying to pick up that linebacker, Joel Williams. He stays with him, and Tony Nathan cuts off that block by Giesler.
Instead of 1st and 15, could have been a late hit.
Well, it could have been, but the ball was loose. Nathan dropped it and jumped back on it.
Nathan's going to get a breather, and Joe Carter, number 23. Now Nathan's still in there with Carter, repaired in the backfield. Marino fires a bullet, completes it to Nathan, close to the first down yardage at the 37-yard line.
Tony Nathan has been the key to the Miami offense, both on their drive right before halftime. He made the 2 big plays, and then here in the second half, he's making big plays both as a receiver and as a running back.
You saw both guys from Alabama in the backfield that time. Carter, who is the rookie, and Nathan, who is a 3rd-round draft pick from Alabama back in 1979, known perhaps best for his ability to come out of the backfield and catch those short throws.
You know, Nathan even looked tired coming off, and he's used to this heat.
Now we got the bull elephant backfield of Bennett and Johnson behind Marino on 3rd down, and a long one from the 39 of Philadelphia. Johnson carries to the 34. First down at the 34.
Here's a good look at the Eagle linebackers on a short yardage situation. There's Reichenbach fighting off a block. Anthony Griggs was also coming over. Reichenbach's in the game, by the way, because Jerry Robinson, who's their veteran linebacker, has a bruised shoulder. So Mike's going to have to fill some big shoes.
Eagles with a ball control drive here as the clock continues to move with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to play in the game. They're finding some holes up the middle. That time Woody Bennett across the 30 to the 27-yard line. Tick, tick, tick. And that's working to the advantage of the Dolphins right now. Have a 4-point lead, would like nothing better than to run off another 3 or 4 minutes and then climax it with a touchdown.
Well, it's important now for Philadelphia to really dig in and try to force the Dolphins to go for a field goal.
2nd down. 3 needed for the first down at the 27-yard line. Nathan got enough for the first as he bounced off the pile and moved forward to the 23. Well, Miami now with a 10-0 record has matched Minnesota's 1975 start. And they are 2 shy of the all-time record for consecutive regular season victories, which goes over 2 seasons. And that was originally set by the Bears 50 years ago, back in 1934. So a victory today would give them 16 straight over 2 years, and 11 straight this year. First down at the Eagle 24-yard line. Nothing fancy here. A lot of running room. That's all there is. As Tony Nathan, who has spent most of the first 3 quarters catching the ball, now running the ball very well. This is what it looks like to have Tony Nathan coming into your living room.
Well, when you got something working, keep going to it. Here, Ed Newman, 64, comes out and makes a great block on the pull, and Nathan knows how to use it. There's Wes Hopkins coming in, putting the shot on him.
Along with Bernard Wilson, but the Dolphins have reached the Eagle 15-yard line. They're looking at a 2nd and 1. This is Carter, hit at the line of scrimmage and taking a good deal of punishment. Looks like he stopped short of the first down.
They're trying to shake Carter loose, number 34. That time they had the flanker coming back in motion, and his job was to block the force man, and Carter was trying to bounce outside but didn't quite make it.
Albert Fowles, number 29, on the stop. Shula's shouting some instructions from the sideline. Eagles have been to Marino once. 1 sack today for a team that had 37 on the year coming in, which put him 3rd in the NFC. Nathan is getting a breather on the sidelines and taking some oxygen right now. 3rd down. Dolphins need 2 for the first from the 16. Marino wants to throw for it. And he's got it. First down to Nat Moore at the 10. The little man who always seems to be there when the Dolphins need him.
Number 89, Nat Moore, has been making many big plays for many years for the Dolphins. Here he goes down and just turns around, and there's no way you can defense that play because you have to play behind him and not let him get past. So he runs upfield, he stops, and he turns around. Marino puts the ball in a perfect place.
Look at the turnaround here.
It's a big difference in the second half.
And most of that has come late in the 3rd and on into the 4th quarter. Because the Eagles really dominated for 2.5 quarters. Bennett trying to bounce outside. Got back to the line of scrimmage. And then was stacked up. Aaron Darby, number 94, leading the defensive charge.
Eagles like Darby a lot. He was a linebacker in college, and they've converted him to defensive end. I talked earlier about Marion Campbell. He was at Minnesota when they had the Purple People Eaters. He was at Los Angeles when they had the Fearsome Foursome. He helped develop Claude Humphrey in Atlanta, and now he's doing the same thing with his fine defensive front for Philadelphia.
All pro linemen seem to follow this man around, defensive linemen. And that is no coincidence. 2nd down, 9 from the 10. Marino looking for 6. Clayton couldn't hold it. Corner of the end zone.
Well, this next play could be the biggest play of the game for the Eagles. With the score 21-17, a field goal, and they're only a touchdown down. But if the Dolphins can go in and get a touchdown, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for the Eagles to come back. So Campbell's sending in some reinforcements, and Shula's sending in a play.
See how close Clayton came to pulling this one down.
When you're a receiver and you get that close to a touchdown, he'll maybe even think about that one longer than the one he dropped in the first half.
All right, 3rd and 9. Eagles, or rather the Dolphins, have to get inside the 1 to pick up the first. From the shotgun. Marino looking near side corner. It is knocked down. Fine defense that time by Ray Ellis.
That was excellent coverage because he had single coverage. Now, Ellis is a safety, and he's not supposed to be able to stay up with the receiver of Duper's caliber. Here it is. He's trying to take the inside away. Duper's going to fake out and try to come around him. Ellis gets his head around looking for the ball, and boy, that was another one that was close. But the Eagles did their job. They stopped him from getting a touchdown, and now they're going to try to block this kick.
Uwe van Schamen, who has not had a good year. He is only 8 out of 17, but from this range, he has been perfect. They'll put it down at the 18-yard line, which will make it a 28-yard effort. This to give the Dolphins a 7-point lead. Slap is low. He got it away. It's good. Dolphins 24, Eagles 17, 4:27 left in the game. Mike Glieber with Gene Fugett. Eagles have left a crack in the door. By holding the Dolphins to a field goal, they are a touchdown away from tying this game up with 4 minutes and 27 seconds to go. If they can get their offense cranked up.
And the Eagles were looking at a 6-game season coming into the day, and they know that this next series could be very important.
And they have a murderous schedule coming up. Joe Hayes really knocked off at the 20-yard line, and the man who hit him is down. Robert Sowell, number 45, came across and may have knocked himself out with that hit.
That's the guy we talked about earlier. He loves to go down and put a lick on that ball carrier. And that time he came in so hard, he hurt himself on the play.
You talk about not having any regard for your body. Watch this particular hit coming up as we follow Robert Sowell down the field.
Well, this is the way many young players make their mark in the NFL, by coming downfield, avoiding the blockers, and putting your head on the numbers. And that's exactly the way it's coached.
What a collision. That's how he made this football team as a specialty team guy, and he appears to be all right. Shaking it off. Timeout, 4:17 left to play in the game. Back in Miami right after this. Eagles 1st and 10 at their 24-yard line. After being ahead most of this ball game, they now trail by a touchdown. Jaworski with the long count play, fake, throws over the middle and completes the pass for the first down at the 38-yard line. Tony Woodruff has been a favorite target, with Quick getting all the extra attention.
Well, if Tony Woodruff goes on to continue playing like this, he may look back at this game as a turning point in his career. Here he is coming down, running an excellent curl route. That time he looked the ball all the way in, covered it up, and made a big first down for the Eagles.
Woodruff played his college football at Fresno State, 9th-round draft choice a couple of years ago. Williams out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. If you're wondering what's happened to Wilbert Montgomery, he came into the ball game with a hamstring problem, ran very well in the first half, picked up 56 yards rushing, is still the leading rusher in the game, but he hasn't been able to go in the second half with that hamstring, so he's been forced to watch it from the sidelines, and that's been a big blow to the Eagle offense.
You know he wishes he was out there, because he gave the team such a tremendous lift in that first half.
Down. Eagles need 2 for the first down at their 46-yard line as we hit the 3-minute mark. They had the blitz coming. Jaworski gets it away in one-on-one coverage, aiming it for Mike Quick. Kozlowski, number 40, was back there covering.
That's what the Eagles have been hoping for. They're hoping to get Mike Quick on a one-on-one situation. That time, as a result of a blitz, he had one-on-one, but Jaworski just couldn't get it to him that time.
Other scores. Boy, the Packers offense has really gotten in high gear.
It's just a matter of time. There's that baseball. It must be in the 9th inning.
Getting close to it, 4th quarter. This should pretty well bring you up to date around the NFL. Our score, 24-17, Dolphins leading the Eagles. Big play, 3rd down, 3. Eagles at their 46-yard line. Need the first badly to keep the drive going. Jaworski swinging it out in the backfield, but Jaworski had nowhere else to go. And a loss of 5 yards on the play. Rodell Thomas doing an excellent job coming up and putting the big hit on Haddix, number 26. And Jaworski's really hot. It's something that Haddix did. I think he was motioning for him to get downfield further.
Well, I told you the Dolphin defense was going to have to make a difference in this game, and they had that play well defense. They wanted Quick over the middle for the little dump, but he was covered, and then he had to come off to the back, but it was well covered by the linebacker, and frankly, I don't see anything that the back could have done.
The Eagles are going to call a timeout, and they're going to go for it. They are going to go for it on 4th and 5 from their own 44. So this could very well be their last shot. With 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go, and Campbell apparently feeling that Miami has done a good job controlling the ball in the second half, that if the Eagles give it up here, they may never get it back. And we'll see what would lead. Neat first down to keep this drive going, which could produce a tying touchdown. Jaworski in the shotgun. 70,000 yelling at the top of their voices. Jaworski goes to Spagnola. 50, 45. First down at the 39-yard line. John Spagnola, the tight end, with his biggest reception of the day, and the Eagles stay alive.
Well, I always told you, Frank, that the tight end is the money receiver. Here he is at the top of your screen making a great release. He's covered by Kozlowski's a safety. He uncovers, breaks a tackle, and is a half a step from a big play.
Tight end is the money receiver. What position did you play?
Tight end.
Glenn Blackwood with a big miss on the tackle, enabling Spagnola to pick up the first. Timeout. 7 to tie and send it into overtime. Jaworski in the 2-minute drill, operating out of the shotgun. Quick in motion downfield. He completes it at the 20, 50, 10, 5. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Melvin Hoover, number 85. Melvin Hoover, the third wide receiver, breaks through the seam and on the receiving end of a 38-yard touchdown pass from Ron Jaworski, and the Eagles are 1 point away from tying this game with 1:52 to go. McFadden, extra point try. Blocked! We believe it was Doug Betters coming up the middle, number 75. But Ron Jaworski on the field, that picture told you everything of this great fight the Eagles have put on, and now it looks like it's going to be 1 point short. And when you're undefeated, things like that have to happen a time or two during the season to keep you undefeated.
That's right, Frank. You can't go through the season undefeated without getting some lucky breaks. And luck is the residue of design, I'm told, and I'm sure they had that block design.
So a terribly disappointed Ron Jaworski as McFadden misfires on an extra point try for the first time this year. See if we can pick it up here.
There's a good hold by Jaworski.
Trying to slow it down for you so we can see where the block came. It appeared to come right up the middle. And it is very difficult to tell. Betters was in the middle of it. Onside kick attempt, I believe, has been recovered by the Dolphins. Nat Moore, number 89, one of the hands guys for the Eagles, who play up on the front line when they anticipate the onside kick. So the Dolphins will take over at the Eagle 44-yard line. And we'll try to run out the clock on this battling band of Eagles from Philadelphia, led by Marion Campbell, who gave the Dolphins all they could handle and looked for all the world like this one was headed for overtime.
Well, it's not over yet, Frank.
Eagles still have 2 timeouts left, so they have a couple of chances to stop the clock. As Woody Bennett, with both arms cradled around the football, carries it to the 40-yard line for a pickup of 3.
Now, on that play, the Eagles did call a timeout, but they lost about 3 seconds. Now, normally, you can tell an official, as soon as the play's over, we want a timeout. I don't see any reason why the clock has to continue to run after the whistle. And as soon as that whistle blows, that clock should stop. They lost a few seconds on that.
One of the Eagles shake it up on the play, so we've got timeout for injury. Officially, we've got 1 minute and 43 seconds to play. And the Dolphins clinging to a 1-point lead at 24-23 as a result of the blocked extra point.
You know, George Allen used to always say that the game is never over as long as the defense is on the field, because the defense has a chance to win it. And what the defense will have to do here is either try to take the ball away from the Dolphins or stop them from getting the first down.
Greg Brown is the injured Eagle player. Coming up next on CBS, the second half of our twin bill. Dallas and St. Louis battling for a share of first place in the NFC East. One will drop out. Those of you in Tallahassee and most of Pennsylvania will see it. Giants at Tampa Bay, and those of you in western New York State and Rhode Island will watch that one. And Chicago and the Rams. Those of you in Orlando, Florida will see that as the second half of your CBS doubleheader. We now get word that Doug Betters it is who has officially been credited with the block on the extra point try, which may have saved this game, or at least a tie, or prevented it from going into overtime. Let's see if we can look at it one more time. Betters wears number 75 coming up the middle.
That's the best place usually to try to block a kick. If you can get penetration up the middle and then get your hands up, that's what they teach those big guys to do, and Betters certainly is a big one.
We're having a little technical problem here. We'll try to get it remedied and take a look at it again. Second down and 7 needed for the first down from the 40-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. Looked that time as if Jeff Taves, number 60, the offensive lineman, jumped. One more time on the extra point try. Jaworski with a good snap, clean hold. And McFadden, who has not missed one this year. And this one was deflected at the line of scrimmage. And we actually couldn't see it, but right now they're crediting it to Doug Betters. It matters little because it's the result that counts. On 2nd and 11, Marino out to the tight end, Johnson.
Dan Marino's pass complete to number 87, Dan Johnson.
And Dan Johnson goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Ray Ellis, number 24 on the tackle. That stops the clock. With 1:36 to go, the Eagles have 1 timeout left, and the Dolphins have 2.
Obviously, the Eagles would have hoped to knock that pass down and make it incomplete, but that's not so bad because they were able to stop the clock without using a timeout. And now the Dolphins still have a ways to go for a first down. Now, earlier in the game, when it got that close, usually Miami would pass the ball. And a run could be very tough, especially in light of how tough that defense has been in the short yardage situation against the Dolphins.
Numbers on Marino for the afternoon, 20 out of 34 for 246 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Third down. 3 needed for the first down. 7-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. Flag. Obviously, they didn't get the first, but they may get it anyway on penalty, because the Eagles may have jumped. Looked like Byron Darby, the right end, who is filling in for the injured Greg Brown, was offside. And that will give the Dolphins the first down and maybe the final nail in the coffin of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Defense, first down.
You know, Frank, a lot of people wonder how a team that's 4-5-1 can play so well against a team that came in 10-0. But there's really not that much difference between these teams except a play like this in a crucial situation. That can be the difference in a game.
And there's the young man, the second-year man, actually, Byron Darby, 5th-round draft choice a year ago from Southern Cal, who jumped and may have iced this. First down at the 33-yard line. Simple straight handoff to Woody Bennett. Well, the Eagles can go back to Philadelphia, certainly, as they call timeout here with their heads held high. Still pays off in the 1-loss column, but they played these undefeated Dolphins to a standstill, jumping out to a 14-0 lead. And Miami, of course, didn't actually take the lead in the game for the first time until the final period. Miami by 1 with 1:26 to go, and the Eagles are out of timeout, so that should just about do it. Keep in mind, second half of the CBS doubleheader coming up, one of the key games. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys, 2 of the 4 teams tied for first place in the NFC East.
If the Dolphins don't pass, they should be able to run out the clock.
They have a 2nd and 8 at the Eagle 31-yard line. Bennett about the 29, but the Eagles can only helplessly stand by now and watch the numbers tick. Coming up tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes starts it off, and then the start of a new miniseries, long talked about, called Eagles with no timeouts left. Oh, this has got to be a tough one.
That's the most helpless feeling in the world, too, just to sit there and watch the seconds tick off. There's nothing you can do about it.
Moreno simply hanging on to the football.
And the Eagles were literally 1 point away from turning their season around.
And I think they've got to run this last playoff because the 30-second clock is going to tick out before the game clock finishes. That'll be 4th down. They need 9 for the first. Game clock. Well, this should do it. Moreno hangs on. The game is over. And the Dolphins remain unbeaten, 11-0 for the Miami Dolphins. Another perfect year. They have still got a few stops along the way, but this one was the toughest and certainly the most heartbreaking for Marion Campbell and the Philadelphia Eagles, who came here to play and had the Dolphins on the run for certainly the first half and most of 3 quarters.
That's a sign of your great team. You can win when you're not playing well, and that's certainly what the Dolphins did today.
Don Shula, as his Dolphins have now rolled to their 16th consecutive regular season victory over 2